Hey guys, we're back with Everlasting Summer. This will most likely be the finale of the Ulyana, so let's get going. This camp is my cell. For the several more hours, I will stay under arrest and I'll face uncertainty, just like after death. Oh yeah, we're talking about like death row just now. Like in how they get a wish. The only difference is that I had more wishes. If I wanted to attend lineup, I'll do so. If I don't, I'll not. What are you going to do next? What do you mean? Well, after the camp. She looked at me in surprise. Back to the school, of course. Yes, only for me leaving this place is kind of a barrier. Frontier, end of something at the beginning of something else. A week ago, it was terribly hard for me to realize that I was pulled out of my usual world, brought to God knows where. But then I got used to it. Here we go again. Basically, the only difference is that now I face not a sense of fear and horror, but a blunt, stinking feeling of uncertainty. And you? Well, I'll find something to do. Something? She burst into peals of laughter. Yeah, what's the matter? You should get gone to a circus school to be a clown. Why? Why can I not help laughing when looking at you? That's mean. Just because I don't have any eyes. I mean, come on. But why? You always act like some kind of... How do you pronounce that? Martyr? A new messiah of all the nations. Well, that's got a bit of truth in her words. Have I reason? I mumbled and turned to face the window. What reasons? Curious. Why are you so curious? Have you forgotten that I'm a child? She grinned darkly. Well, half an hour with you is like a terrible torture for me. Hey, look who's talking. You're just one really nasty-tempered person. What makes you think so? You're always deep in soul-searching, trying to find out something, analyzing everyone else around. I gave Ulyana one amazed look. I'd not expected such a little girl to be capable of such a mature judgment. And that's it. At the very least, I know how to behave myself, and I don't end up grounded. It's a matter of chance, she grinned. Yeah, sure. If last night, she stopped shortly. Last night, what? Nothing. I'll finish what you started. She just opened her mouth when steps were heard behind the door, and a second later, Olga ended. Oh no! I've been found out! Oh, there you are. That's even better. She seemed confused in the last 4 words. Well, I reconsidered that morning incident. It's not like it became much clearer, but it doesn't look like a big deal. So, Ulyana, you're officially not grounded. Yay! Everybody cheer! If only you did that right from the start, I muttered. Did you say something? No. No, nothing. Departure's coming. Time to pack your stuff. Saying that, she left the cabin. Now you see how it's all turned out. Yeah, I said. Are you going to pack? Yeah, I guess so. And you? It's not like I brought much to pack. Indeed, it was the truth. Care to help me then? Okay, sure, why not? She started to pull her clothes out of the cabinet and stacking them on her bed. Watch her. You'll tumble everything. It's okay, I'll wash it at home. T-shirts, skirts, shorts, dresses, shoes, trainers, underwear, pile of clothes were growing and growing. You really brought all this stuff here all alone? Considering Ulyana's constitution, it was hard to believe. Yes, of course, she laughed. Come on, give me a hand. We started a box of clothes into a big bag. We tried to pack things carefully at first, but then realized it was pointless. Continued by just stuffing everything to make it squeeze in. Alas, there's no more clothes on the bed, and we managed to zip up in the bag. So that's it, yeah. I looked at the clock. It's just about 40 minutes till departure time. You know, it was fun. Meaning, last week was fun. Ha, yeah. I was absent-mindedly. Don't you think so? Why, it sounded sort of insincere to me. Well, I must admit that I'm not walking any air, yeah? But why don't you like it? It's not like I can spit out everything at once. You see, a few moments were, how can I put it, a little unexpected. Why, you're so boring, said Ulyana and turned away from me. Well, what do you expect from me? You sound like you've got absolutely nothing to remember later. Yeah, there's surely plenty to remember, I gleamed. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She looked closely at me. That made me a bit uncomfortable. What again? And me. Will you remember me? Sure I will. Everyone. Everyone. And you, most importantly. I saluted, swinging up attention to with hand over the heart. That's better. However, do I really have something to remember about her? Yeah, we had lots of adventures, but who was Ulyana for me? Just a nosy kid from another reality. A second thought, do I really care that much about my situation now? From the very first moment I've appeared here, everything changed tremendously, so right now I was just curious about what's going to happen next. Sure, the obscurity is not the most pleasant perspective, but I must admit that it's a breathtaking one. Whether I'll return to the world or not does not depend on me anymore. It means that I don't really have a choice. I have to adapt to the local living conditions. One of these conditions was sitting right in front of me, smiling broadly. You know, you're not so silly as I thought at first. Why silly in the first place? She said in an offended tone. Just kidding. You and your jokes. Alright, it's time. Let's go. Ulyana said happily and pointed at the bag. Yeah, I've shouldered her belongings. That almost made me bend in half. I think the fact that the bus stop was just a few hundred meters away. Wait, no, your clothes! Your winter clothes! I've shoved her stuff into my bag, then hurried to get my humble luggage. After some time, all the pioneers were here. Okay, there we go. Everyone's here? You're leaving our camp, and just nervous. I hope that you remember the time spent here for a lifetime. I hope you made new friends. All in all, come back next year. Can't believe you turned away. Seems like she was trying to hold back tears. I wasn't expecting you to get so emotional, but completely agreed with everything being said. It's the same guys! The last 3 days, this person has been calling me around the same time. Come on, stop it! No! If you guys go back, probably, 7, 10 parts, you'll see me being called again. Guys, this person. What if it's like, when I answer, they'll be like, I'm watching you. And I'll be like, oh no! And then my window, and then I see someone standing there, and they disappear. That'll be spooky. Perhaps it's the first time when our words hadn't just gotten past my ears. Soon everyone had boarded the bus. I was the last seat next to Ulyana. First row was taking my stopping attendant, then a little closer to us, Lena and Miku electronic control were playing cards. Lisa slouched in her seat alone in the 2 rows from us. There's no peer for her. It turns out embarrassing in regard to our neighbor. It's fine, you helped me to get ready and brought my stuff here. I looked at her closely. It seems like this little demon has changed her attitude towards in a radical way. Could it be that I'm a friend for her? An odd word that seemed to have lost its meaning for me ages ago. I can't recall any of my acquaintances, when I still had them, who I would call friends. Maybe even back when I was at school. And now someone takes me as a friend. Anyways, what does it mean to me? I always felt more comfortable thinking about abstract stuff, distant perspectives on a global matter than of simple, ordinary issues. And indeed, during all this time we spent in the camp, I managed to buddy up tightly with Ulyana. She awakened these long-forgotten feelings to me. Because that's what it means to be buddies or friends. I smiled and tousled her hair gently. Oh, what is this for? She puffed her lips. Just... perfect. Oh, what? No. Oh, okay, I thought I got another phone call. Will you marry me when I grow up? Oh, sure, yeah. I'll hold you to that. Okie dokie, okay. Let's go join them in playing cards? Why not? Okay. We've gathered around the suitcase that was used for the table. Soon Alyssa joined us. I was laughing a lot, cracking jokes, and just enjoying being a state usually called happiness. A simple happiness. Here and now. Right now, this bunch of pioneers that I managed to befriend in this short week was millions of times more important to me than getting down to how I came to this world and how to get out of here. At long last, should I ever be striving back? It was getting dark. The game was long over, and pioneers have returned to their seats. I have no idea how long it will take to get to the district center, but it seemed like eternity. From behind the bus windows, only pitch darkness was looking at me, almost consuming the entire world, compressed by the size of the Icarus cabin. Anyways, the surroundings were the least of my concerns now. I was enjoying the moment. It seems like the reality is completely normal. And does it really matter how I got here if things turn out this great? I became another person, met new friends. What are you thinking about? About life. How's it going? Just awesome. Ulyana laughed quietly. I don't have a place to return, so I can choose any life path I want. Yes, we'll part our ways soon, and I probably never will see most of them, but we'll stay friends forever. Enjoyable warmth flowed through my body. I felt myself a kid again. Ulyana put her head on my shoulders, and I fell asleep quickly. Sometimes you may feel tired, but not only because of hard work and sad feelings, but also because of fun, joy, and happiness. You may probably even want to continue, but have no energy to, with your soul demanding time to rest and your body asking for calmness. I fell asleep with a smile on my face. I like this ending. So far this is probably my favorite ending. Maybe the Miku ending, but, the whole, Other than the whole, it's just a dream thing, I like the Miku ending. I'm talking about endings, not the whole out, by the way. I kind of like that whole, instead of going after a girl, you guys are friends. Seems like I haven't slept at all. It happens all the time. You close your eyes and fall asleep in hours, Okay, come on. We've woken up here like 3 times now. How can it be possible? Oh no! Begin to panic. And I fell on the floor. An old chandelier looks unkindly with this. Oh, I never even noticed I had a chandelier. Was it really a dream? But it can't be. It just can't be. I spent an entire week there. It certainly was there. So I stood up, went to the kitchen, filled a glass with water, and returned to the room. Okay. I'll start reading it once it gets to the, like it takes up the whole screen. I can't remember. Oh no, it's not that bad. Wait a minute, why must it be bad? On the contrary, everything's fine. I would say even perfect. I've broken free from that world and returned home. The main thing is not to end up there again. May happen, surely it can. But it may not happen as well. Indeed, I have no reason to worry about. Everything will be fine. Obviously, I saw some things. Precisely, I saw things. It doesn't matter if everything was real. Nothing like that can happen. Can't. I claim with all due responsibility that it just can't. Modern science claims it's impossible. Not allowed. I laughed loudly. Then her voice tried to stop the verbal diarrhea sprouting from my mouth, but it turned out bad. My speech and thinking seemed to be separate and started an independent life. I pulled myself together. I pulled the curtains open and looked out the window. Hey, city! I can regain that as a stream and calm down, or I can trust my own feelings and accept that the camp, the best, the pioneers were real. However, whatever I'll choose won't give me any answers. What now? And I exhausted and fell on my bed. Wait, is that the ending? Oh, okay. From the moment I came back from Silvernock, much time had passed, and a lot had changed in my life. The first week I was violated my mind, trying to summarize in details everything that had happened. Designing graphs and diagrams, writing to forums, discussing paranormal phenomena. Is it phenomenon? Or I even tried planned it was an oracle. In the end it resulted in nothing, just as one should expect. It's no wonder. I was just a human being, but these events obviously weren't a fear of a supreme mind. If a caveman found himself in the early 21st century, he would understand even more than me. Well, at first you would think that a cell phone that transmits speech of someone dozens of kilometers away by the will of God is a miracle. But one can get used to it. Maybe if he completed secondary and higher technical education, he would even understand how to do mobile communications work. It's a basic, exaggerated example, as unreal as everything experienced. I'll hardly ever understand how does it work or who's behind it, but it's difficult to get used to it if it happens again. Well, one question troubled me ever since. Why? Why me? What have or have not have I done to deserve this bad or good luck? Surely in sci-fi novels, wonders often occur to quite ordinary people, but that's just a matter of chance. But I was absolutely positive that these events have occurred to me for some reason. Just like a random sci-fi hero who moved 1,000 years forward just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But in the future, no one knew him. Everyone thought he was just a madman. And me? I was expected in the camp, or at least by the camp leader. How should one respond to it? Maybe I was picked out by a random and studied later on? Even so, the question why not only remains, but on the contrary, becomes even less important. More important, not less. After not finding any sufficient explanation, I returned to my usual existence. Now I wasn't sitting at my computer 24/7, wiping at the button F5 into dust. This new luscious came into my life. But what were they? I couldn't even tell. Suddenly, I wished to get a higher education. Not to find a job, but not because it was necessary, just because I remembered how much fun I had during the first year of education. Chatting with course mates, days of lighthearted youth fun, plenty of energy that I had such a lack of during last years. Utterly lazy are only those people who are truly intellectual. Someone truly great once said. It's hard to argue with this expression. Ordinary man will not be sitting around because he is lazy, but because the subject is of no interest to him. For instance, I'm not interested in knitting, so does it mean that I'm a slacker if I don't make a couple of woolen sweaters per month? But I feel too lazy to open a book. It's close to me. Although I like reading, when I start thinking that I'm going to get through a huge novel, page by page. And even if it is interesting, even if it absorbs me completely so that I can't turn it away, that will only come later. For now, all I need to do is to get a book from my shelf and open it. But I felt too lazy. I don't know what exactly has influenced me, but about half my time, instead of 5 to 10% before, I was occupied with something useful. I read, I wrote, studied something new, wanted for sports. At least I exercised in the morning. Sometimes I thought that was an influence of the camp. One can't rule out this possibility. All 7 days there, I participated in social work, verbal communications with others in amounts that before would cause terror and a severe attack of seclusion in me. On the other hand, it's not so easy to change one's personality in a single week, especially for someone as stubborn as me. Like it's easy to give a direction, a guiding line. However, I've never believed that it was possible with me. Anyways, I enjoyed these changes so much that I try not to think about their causes. Nobody would even think why he managed to hit the jackpot by betting his last trousers. In the summer, I was orientated at the institute and the studies started in autumn. Time passed. I eagerly attended lectures and seminars, studied for tests and examinations with great enthusiasm that I haven't expected for myself. I managed to become part of the group with surprising ease. Although I was older than most students, it didn't trouble me. Maybe it's because of my natural immaturity or my changes in my personality, I wasn't for sure. Most likely the answer is somewhere in the middle. The way of communicating with people, last many years ago, returned. It was easier to get along with others. Their problems didn't seem so distant and managed to me. Normal life, which before I just considered a grey depressing mess, started shining in new colors. Sometimes it seemed to me that I turned into a doll, became one of a billion identical tin soldiers, standing in straight rows on the shelf in a toy shop. But in the shop, apart from the glowing showcase sparkling with fancy writings, describing new season offers and Christmas discounts, was a storage, while all malfunctioning production was stone. Teddy bear without a paw, fighter's truck without which required a car fixing service, a transformer which looked more like a microwave and not a mighty robot, jigsaw puzzles which were not assembled into trippy pictures of postmodernism. My place was to be among these broken toys. While some of them could be taken to refugee in beneficial funds or orphanage, my only fate was dumping and further recycling. So I couldn't help enjoying such changes in my life. As the last lesson, the hardest subject in this gym. Is this me? Or... Most students didn't like it because of its difficulty and ambiguous feature, I suppose. But I found some sort of pleasure in dealing with tables, graphs, and diagrams. Counting the figures by piece, I arranged them in columns and lines in the right order, summing up to subtracting, dividing, and multiplying, and getting by that the exact picture of any event. No number could have won my attentive gaze. All of them were captured, calculated, analyzed. Each of them to get an index number and placed in a proper cell. After its arrival, every digit will get a bed, service, and full uniform that will be sent to perform its designated task. Somebody will be digging a trench 9 to 5. Somebody will have a battle march for trends. Somebody will be trying to hit a linear regression on a shooting range. What are you thinking about? That was my group mate. Reluctantly, I stopped writing and gazed on my group mate. Writing down the lecture, as you can see. There's no teacher. Oh, just screw it. Just read a workbook afterwards. I'll read a workbook as well. Always was astonished by you. What's so astonishing? You're planning to get a first-class diploma, aren't you? Never thought of it. Don't tell me you find it interesting. I remember that just a moment ago. I imagined myself as a pen in the digit squad. Can't help smiling. You won't even need all this stuff. Everything will be needed. At least for general development. Groupmate grinned sarcastically. I bet you never even read a single book in your whole life. Ha ha, groupmate. So what? He asked for the challenge. Just stating the fact. And you're always somewhere up in the clouds. He was right about it. Although I regained part of my last social skills, I often stepped out of reality, dreaming of something else. You're talking about it as if it's something bad. There's nothing bad in reading notebooks as well. Human beings can't have only material needs. I said philosophically, Makiam. Oh, what a party pooper, yawn. Lecture was approaching its end, and I began to plan out the rest of the day. Need to buy groceries and later finish a project and send to a client, and then got to write down notes. Then in the evening, I can just read or watch something. Unless someone phones or writes to me, there's no urgent matters, so I can just spare some time for my mates. Oh, whole 5 minutes to go. I looked at the phones and realized that it's exactly a year after our return from the Silvernock Pioneer Camp. Oh wow, what a coincidence. You know, it's not like anything else a year after it's happened. I believe it was the Alyssa, and did Lena route do it too? I don't think the Slavia route did, but I know the Alyssa route did. Like, whenever I met Alyssa, it was 1 year after. My soul felt warmer from such thoughts. I smiled blissfully. It's not that often anymore that I recall these events. Obviously, one cannot forget something like that. These moments of something bizarre, extraordinary, that are engraved in memory forever. Even the happiest moments fade, and just reminiscence of them remain. Nothing more, but the week spent in Silvernock was something different. I remember everything in finest details. Terror in the first minutes after waking up in the bus. First day, hard, full of surprises and amazing acquaintances. Cheerful and carefree pranks with Ulyana. Just take the trick with ghosts, for instance. Best Soviet comedians would envy it. And pioneers had such expressions. They were dying laughing. Surely it would be nice to meet Ulyana in real life. Well, she's not always adequate. She's hyperactive, but she doesn't have any ideas about good manners. But one doesn't meet such a sincere, carelessly cheerful, and energetic person very often. Maybe she gave some of this energy to me. Oh, Yank. Roommate stood up, said his goodbyes, and left. Started packing exercise books and textbooks up into my backpack and suddenly heard someone's voice over me. Excuse me, is this the 34th lecture hall? Wow, a red name! Who could this be? There's a sign on the door. No, there's no. No, there's... I'm assuming not. Gerber's voice sounded offended. Means someone has removed it. So is it the 34th? Yeah. At last I closed the backpack and raised my head and intending to stand up. Oh, hey! It's... Girl looked terribly familiar. Haven't we? Yes, I thought the same. She looked very surprised. But I don't remember where I could have met you. Neither do I. What year are you? The first one. Oh, still pretty much green. Ira smiled. Everything is still ahead. Oh man, my jam's on! As if I was already past everything. And what about you? The fourth. So is it difficult to study? First year it is. Knew it. She told in an upset manner. But it gets easier with time. It's always easier when you get used to it. Sometimes I'm so lazy to do it. Yeah, that also happens. Do you still have stuff from the first year? Also, her skin got lighter. I don't know about that. If you share it, it'll be easier to prepare for examinations. Obviously, I had nothing. My first year was over a long time ago. Also, her, like, emo hairstyle kind of looks weird. But suddenly, I felt a strong desire to ask her phone number, so I lied. Yes, maybe, but I'll have to check. That's great. Exchange our telephone numbers. My name's Semyon. How should I put you? Ulyana. Then I realized who the girl reminded me of. Oh, I'm just now realizing it. Exactly, it's Ulyana, just about 5 years older. Wait, 5? For a moment, I was lost for words. What? It's an ordinary name. That was Lennon's name. She probably said. No, just... Have you been to any pioneer camps when I was a kid? Why are you asking? In the blink of an eye, all the events that happened in the Silver Knot came to the front of my eyes. So it wasn't a dream, although there were summer camps, not the pioneer ones, Ulyana added. So you weren't wearing a uniform? The one with the red neckerchief? Of course not. Passion police alert. She laughed loudly. But why are you asking? I was about to tell her everything, but then thought she would consider me a psycho. After all, this girl was older than Ulyana, I remembered. Maybe she just looked alike. I had a dream. I think I saw you there. Kind of deja vu. Deja what? It's when one sees something for the first time, but believes that he has seen it before. Well, if you think about it. Her face became serious. I think I've seen you somewhere as well. Definitely. Maybe it's that thing you just said. An interesting coincidence, don't you think? Don't know. Anyways, I'll give you a call. See ya. See ya. She laughed and ran out of the room. Wait, so how old was Ulyana? It said about 5 years older. So was she like a... Was she? I can't remember when I talked to Slavia. I mentioned 14. I thought that's, you know, just asking. But was Ulyana 14? I thought she was like 8. A parent's behavior, way of talking, she's definitely that exact Ulyana. So does it mean the dream is coming true? I can't help enjoying it. And above all, I'll see this forever cheerful girl again for sure. Attack! Every story has its beginning and its end. Every story is its own outline, hypnosis, contents, key points, a prologue, and an epilogue. There's no book which will not reveal the things you didn't pay attention to previously after you read it again. Every story has its beginning and its end. Almost every. Well, guys, I'm going to be getting the Ulyana bad end off camera just because, you know, why not? It's probably going to be short. So, you know. And I'll just, you know, give you a summary whenever I start the Yulia, whichever one, next time, guys. So, you know, see you then. Bye.